you. Wow, EPSILON DLS. Let's go and play. Who do you think this is for?
This is
Where we
for
place it?
intermediate pilots. You fly approximately 50 hours a year. Maybe you've got a little bit of soaring, starting to think about cross country, or you're an exceptionally talented beginner. But
Wow.
if you're progressing from an ENA to an EMD, this is a good first step. And you can even do it for a little bit of hike and fly. It's quite light.
Yeah, so you see that, it's like under 4 kilograms.
Yeah, it's pretty light.
Do you think it's going to be durable? I mean, these light wings, is it going to last?
Well, they say, Advance say it's going to be just as durable as all previous Epsilons, so fingers crossed.
What's your experience with Advance and lasting?
Just can't really go wrong with Advance, is what I say.
Yeah.
I've been selling Advance for 10 years, and we've never ever had a single product quality issue from their factory, ever.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen.
Yeah. No, I found that as well. I mean, I've got the lightweight, the Omega X helps, and it's just incredible. It's just doesn't show any sign of getting old.
Yeah.
Perfect condition, good trim. So
Definitely
yeah,
one of the top manufacturers for sure.
yeah, definitely. Would you expect to be able to train a student on this wing, or is it a bit beyond that level?
I think it's a bit beyond that level. I think you should be sticking with an ENA for your first glider to make all your mistakes. Just make your life as easy as possible. Don't bite off too much and hope that you're going to grow into the glider. That's just going to hold you back.
Yeah.
Get this glider if you've already got some experience, or if it's your first glider and maybe you're planning on giving up work and life and just flying and you're going off traveling in a van and you're going to fly like Greg, who just doesn't really have a job and just flies around all over the place having a whale of a time. I want to be you. Can we swap?
Jess does a lovely job outdoors every day, throwing people off the hill, watching them progress and get up.
Can't complain. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's good fun.
It's pretty fun.
And beautiful, beautiful training site. Let's have a look. Everybody's learning flying. There's a lot of flying happening today.
It's going to be good. I'm very
So what
excited.
can I expect on the Epsilon? What do you think I'm going to feel if I go out there and I start thermaling?
You're going to have much better control with the shorter brake range. It's got a little bit more aspect ratio, so it's going to talk to you a little bit, so you've got to be ready for that. It's going to move around a little bit more than if you're moving up for an ENA, so that takes a bit of getting used to. So it's definitely go off, spend a lot of time ground handling it to get to know the characteristics of the glider, the feel of the glider, and then maybe some gentle boating and soaring, and then some more thermic flights. Like we've got our pretty good spring day today in the UK, so you should be able to get up and have a really
Excellent.
good feel of it.
Well, I think that's exactly what I'm going to go and do. Thanks, Jess. Have a good day. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Cheers. Right, what have we got? We've got a classic 3-riser system. Very nice, slender riser set. Beautiful finishing. 3 A's, 3 B's, and a stabilo on the B, which attaches on that corner stack. Yes, I'll show you in a minute why that's important. And then 3 C's, which go out just to the back of the glider, and of course your brake. So that's what I would say is a classic rigging. The glider itself, the mix of very lightweight and more durable. Advance know what they're doing with lightweight gear. It's been optimized to reduce the weight, but not hugely. Leading edge in the center. You can see shark nose effect with that step between the leading edge and the undersurface. That's quite a narrow leading edge, so I expect really good performance and a bit more speed than you'd expect on an ENA glider, for example. Wind's pretty strong. Whee! Secret is to keep your weight low so you've got some drag force of your feet, keeps you in contact with the ground. As soon as you flick up like that, woo, you lose traction. So I'm going down to there. Quite lifty here, and a bit off to the side. See if we can get back down on the ground for you. So at some point you're going to get to the higher sink rate. It's important not to keep pulling the brakes when you touch down. Okay, in that position I can test out the back risers for you. So this is what's really good about a classic rigging where the C's are in the glider and not on the tips. You can hold it down like this, which gives you the option of A's and C's control on the ground for your launching if you want it. Also means if you're coming in to land in strong conditions, you can kill it on the back risers. It's nice and controllable. Just going to let it pop up on its own without using the risers at all, and just walk towards it slightly. So let's see. Bounce it up, run towards it. It's got a nice slow, steady pull up. Going to sit slightly back there. It makes it slightly harder in strong wind than a high B, which will tend to pull a little bit more forward when it's overhead. So make sure you've got a bit of a slope if you're launching in strong winds to be able to counteract that a bit. Right, let's get in the air, see what it does. So, let's just test a little pitch and see how tolerant the glider is of pitching. I'm putting in the brake at the worst time and then I'm releasing it to make it dive forward. But the wing is very tolerant, it's going forward and then calming out. So I feel that's perfect for the low B class, not demanding at all, very easy for the pilot to understand, and you don't need to be flying particularly actively on the brakes. You can just let the glider go through the bumps. I've got that feeling that the glider gives me a roll to a certain point and then I hit a safety bumper. This is a classic advanced characteristic, especially in the Epsilon class, where you get some responsiveness out of the glider, but then at some point it'll save you from getting unsettled. Very nice for a low B glider. I am getting some feeling what the air is doing. I'm getting a little bit of that roll, but it's very comfortable. Quite happy to fly in very rough stuff. Feel like the glider is holding itself together nicely. Nice big thermal here. So going into the thermal, it's staying slightly back from vertical. Putting a little, just trying to straighten out here and get to the front of the thermal, that's good. And then, if you put weight shift in before the turn, I'm down at sort of near my carabiner with the brake and I'm getting this really quick, look at this quick rotation. There's a point where it speeds up its rotation in the turn. At that point you could put a little bit of outside just to calm that turn down. But it's certainly very responsive and very nice to thermal. Where you've got to be a little careful with this glider is if you fly with too much brake and then you try and turn it on the inside. You can see there I'm spinning very early. It's very easy to find that spin point. So you need to be careful that you're flying with good airspeed use the top of the brake range, and definitely don't fly down here and then turn. Keep the glider and the airspeed nice and high. Going under speed bar, I'm going onto half bar. It's got a little link on the risers which might make you think it's got the BC bridge, but it isn't. If you're wanting to adjust the glider when you're on bar, you should really be coming off the bar, not trying to pull on the back risers, because it isn't actually linked to the Bs, so you're creating a bit of a kink in the glider. I'm going to more bar now, riding it out. It's got a little bit of tolerance, so I mean you can just sort of check the minor bumps on the rear risers, but I wouldn't use it very strongly. I would come off the bar. Going for the big ears, they're very, very easy to put in. I'm going to go on half bar, and I've got very nice, gentle, balanced weight of control. I feel like I've still got good contact with the wing. If I let the ears out, they come out all on their own. I'm still on bar. Come off the bar now. So everything's telling me that the glider is very stable and reassuring, very easy. We go on board. Let's do an asymmetric. Collapse it in, and even with a little bit of leaning into the corner, I've turned maybe 40 degrees. So it's super easy. Bit of scratching just to get a feeling of what it's like in lumpy air. I'm behind this forest, and it's holding itself together really well. Feels easy. Okay, I'll try and do a speed run. It's pretty difficult because it's in thermic conditions, so I don't get a steady speed. But I'm looking at I'm getting about 11 kilometers an hour penetration here over the ground. So I want to go to full bar. Somewhere about 24, 23. I'll have to do that again. That was very basic, very rough. About 11. About 21, so about 10 k's an hour there, which is your typical kind of low B acceleration range. Right, let's go find some thermals. So that's the Epsilon DLS. If you're a pilot that's just come out of school and you're looking for something to take you through cross-country flying, but with low stress, low demands, easy to fly, that's what you're looking at. It is accessible for students straight out of school that's got talent. I think just on the cornering does mean it doesn't suit a pilot who's particularly heavy-handed. It needs to be somebody with a sensitivity and a light touch and an understanding of airspeed. So that maybe puts it out of the reach for some beginners. But if you've got a bit of experience and you haven't had any incidents and you know what you're doing with your flying, really sweet, easy glider to fly. Very lightweight, very versatile. Quite a lot of fun.
If you also want to get high like this, join my flight academy and I'll show you the secrets of mastering paragliding and conquering your fears.
So what they didn't tell you about the Epsilon is it's going to cost you some extra money for your train fare. Of course you're going to go cross country with this wing. But the handling was really easy, thermaling around It's definitely got those 2 bumper bars where you thermal to a certain point and then it stops there. It does sometimes drop a bit in the turn and rotate quite quickly. So you've got to calm that out by using the outside brake just to level the glider out a little bit. It was really pleasant. I didn't find it stressful at all. It's sort of a sedate, moderated turn. And everything about it is moderated. Very easy, calm, and quite fun, quite nice. A little bit of feedback, not too much, just right. It feels very comfortable. So when you're in the air, you're not stressed out about anything, and it puts you in a very good mind space. So you immediately start thinking about, hey, where can I go? Because you're feeling comfortable. And I think that's the advantage of having a glider that's very simple, very easy to fly, no stress. Then you can go and explore.
Come and join a great community of pilots and level up.